Hi, everybody. Today we have a legend with us, Hawaiian legend, Kimo Hussey. Welcome.
Aloha.
Yeah,
And
good to
I'm just
Yeah, I recently saw you on the Ukulele magazine cover on the latest issue. So that's congratulations. That's pretty awesome.
well, it was, and I got to tell you that I'm very very flattered. But with regard to that, I want to tell you what is uppermost in my mind with regard to that, and it has to do with it has to do with the wonderfulness of ukulele. I had nothing to do with with generating that article. It was mostly brought about by some ukulele friends I understand in New York.
Oh, okay.
And so when I found out about that article, it was because the editor had contacted me and wanted an interview. So when I said why, he said he said they were going to do an article, and I think the reason why I mentioned that is that it's so ukulele,
Yeah.
because the ukulele community is very very wonderful. It's a close knit community, and I I think very very close to 100% of ukulele people. There's something about this instrument that that just makes people happy and do wonderful things in addition to playing music. So thanks for mentioning that article.
Oh no, definitely well deserved. And I do have to agree with you on the fact that there is something about the ukulele. And yeah, like when do you ever come across like an ukulele player with like just that's upset, right? It's always just like, even as us artists, we could meet for the first time and immediately it's just like, oh, we're friends. It's kind of weird how it kind of overlaps that barrier. I was just like, okay, who are you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's just, I don't know what it is. The ukulele is very happy, and it's still something that I wonder about. Like, what is that? What is that
Well,
music?
the other side of that is that if you ever come across a person who for some reason is an ukulele person, and they're angry or going off, what you do is you get them playing,
Yeah, yeah.
because
Or
it's impossible to play the ukulele and be mad, man. You can't do
yeah, yeah. Or I'll call you up and then you can talk to them about
it. There you go.
it. Oh man, dang. So you've been so how long have you been playing ukulele?
I'm sorry.
How long have you been playing the ukulele?
My mother told me that I started with five when I was five, and
5.
I'm a septuagenarian now. I'm 76.
Oh, okay, so you got
Uh,
some time under your belt,
so that
grandmaster.
means at least for 71 years there's been at least one day that I've picked up the ukulele and
For
still love it very much.
And what was it about the ukulele when you were a kid? Because the ukulele was definitely I mean, even when I was younger, the ukulele was definitely not as popular as it is now. But what drew you to the instrument specifically?
It has to be interest in music. At 5 years old, just like many other people in Hawaii, as you know, there's always an ukulele, in the house somewhere, and generally that ukulele is not in a case. It's out on the coffee table, the couch, wherever. It's generally within like arm's reach.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No different, yeah, no different with me when I was growing up. But I'm sure it started off as kind of being a toy. But as best I can remember, as I grew up, sound, and music became very very important to me. And I think the reason why the ukulele was also so important to me was, um, in those years, it was cheaper to have an ukulele than a guitar.
True, true.
So that was the instrument. It became for me personally, an instrument of choice, because it was the only instrument around. And as I grew up, developed an interest in music and singing and all of that. So when I was in junior high school, I finally realized that I had a really significant interest in ukulele. I lived on the mainland 27 years after high school before I had opportunity to move back to Hawaii. And in those years, my primary instrument was guitar.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
and so when I returned to Hawaii in 1990, and especially as I looked around for opportunities to get back into music, um, the ukulele renaissance at the time was going full bore. So I thought, oh, this is wonderful because it's a real small instrument, and I didn't have because I was thinking of retiring at the time, and I didn't have to have a boss, and I could do anything that I wanted whenever I wanted. So it was easy for me to get back into ukulele, and I never have ever regretted that decision.
Oh, definitely. Especially, talking about the joy that the ukulele brings. I mean, me and you as ukulele artists, we know there's like, yeah, again, we're kind of going back to the magic. It's just, I think it's just also because it's very portable. It's not intimidating. Some people like would hesitate to pick up like a violin or something, but the ukulele just, it's just
Right.
right there. Like, and it's so funny what you brought up. I always bring that up about like when I tell the story of like how the ukulele is always in the house. It's very convenient, especially growing up in Hawaii.
Yeah.
It kind of is
Yeah.
it like takes place as like a lamp like on the table or something like that, and people are like, what are you talking about? Like, but yeah, like you understand that whole thing too.
And people like you uh, and I, because of our interest and experience in ukulele, understand the the potential that ukulele has just to make people feel good. I think one of the wonderful things about ukulele is is participation. You and I have spent a good amount of time on the stage,
Yeah.
playing at people, and that's a wonderful thing, and that kind of thing should continue. But when you Andrew are in an audience listening and watching a ukulele player, after about two or three songs, you start getting itchy, because you want to play, don't you? And that that I think is the most wonderful thing, because if we turn that around, uh, what I have been able to learn, I think, is that ukulele people will generally sit very courteously and listen to somebody play at them. But the bottom line is participation. They want to play themselves. And the thing about ukulele is you don't have to be an accomplished musician and study for years and years and years in order to play the ukulele.
Yeah, that's true, and that's an angle I've never even thought about. About people listening from the audience, especially other ukulele artists. That's very fascinating.
Yeah, well, one thing that I have come to grips with is that is that the people who come to listen to you, the people who come to learn from you, are really the people who are responsible for keeping you into ukulele.
Yeah.
And so my favored activity in ukulele is sharing, what I call sharing ukulele, and getting people to play, because man, when people learn to play the ukulele, at some point, hopefully if you're there and you watch their faces, oh my god, it'll light up, give you a sunburn.
Yeah, and I think it goes to like you have this instant gratification when it comes to ukulele. It's like it's not something you can like play a song on your first day, and a lot of for some people like accomplishing a song like even on guitar can be just like it could be intimidating. It can be a little tough, but with the ukulele, you just immediately and the sound. I mean. come on,
Yeah.
ukulele has a unique sound, so it's just all those things that play into the this big smile and the community that comes with it and the artists that come with it. I think it's just perfect.
Yeah, I think so. And as you well know, ukulele, um, it's not difficult to play an ukulele, but it is extremely difficult to play an ukulele very well,
I agree.
and realize the potential that's in the ukulele. I prefer I prefer to play solo when I
Yes.
play, because the way I look at it, it's raw and just ukulele. Nothing else trying to cover up the sound or enhance it. It's just pure ukulele. But to play solo, as you know, is extremely difficult,
It
and
is.
extremely difficult to promote as well.
Yeah. And
So you and I, we're in a tough industry, buddy, but we're laughing and smiling and having fun the whole time.
exactly, exactly. And no, I agree. When it comes to ukulele, I arrange my pieces kind of. I arrange it so I can play it in any situation. Because I mean, when I was younger, I used to arrange things where it was like, okay, maybe if I'm playing with my dad on bass or guitar, I'll play it this way. But then I just figured that's too much hassle, so I just arrange something that I can play it at any times. If I have to go solo on the road, my dad can't make it or anything, arrange it, just a universal way where I can play it with a band or solo. But solo is
Right.
just, I really love, yeah, I love solo too. And could you describe a little bit of your style? I know you mainly solo. You play low G, correct?
Oh yeah, always play low G, and trying to get me to play a high G instrument. Oh man, Andrew, that's like swearing at me.
So how'd you develop that style, like of the one you have? You have a pretty unique style, I would say.
Tell me about that style, and I'll tell you how I developed it.
It's I mean, you. I mean, you always keep in the rhythm. You have this technique with your thumb and your index finger, right? And you kind of bounce
Right.
it like that.
Right.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
even like I've seen Clay do it too. Since I think Clay learned from you a little bit.
Poor thing. Okay, I understand. Um, my style is basically a function of two things, I think. Number one, when I was growing up and learning to play, the style that I play in now is the way I was taught, and that style is basically playing the melody and the harmony together,
Okay.
as opposed to plunk 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 melody and then strum 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 harmony.
Yeah.
And the other thing about about that style, my style, that has greatly influenced me, are young guys like you and Jake. Because when I decided to get back into music and ukulele, the first thing I was telling myself is, well, Kimo, in order to do this, the first thing I ought to try and do is get famous, because if I get famous, I gain some credibility. If I
Yeah.
gain credibility, then people will want to come to learn from me.
Yeah.
How did I do that? I I I because of the way I like to play, I started playing opposite, and I started playing opposite young guys like you. What does that mean? When Jake was coming up, and still today, and with Calais and you, and pretty much all of the young people, you guys like to play fast.
Oh, that.
Uh, a quick tempo, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I was talking to Jake once, and I thought, hey, Jake, um, as you get older, you don't get faster. So So if you're playing as fast as you can, right now, you always have to grow. So what does that mean for me? I started playing slow, medium pace songs. Why? Because I'm much older than you guys, and it's easier for me to play medium pace songs than faster.
Mm.
In addition to that, I think by slowing down and getting quieter, by the way, that it adds a very, very nice emotion
Yeah,
to the
that
music that you play, and it provides opportunity for the listener to hear, what's going on. Uh, the way I look at that practically, Andrew, is when when people come to listen to me play, a lot of them tell me, "Oh, you're very good," and I appreciate that. But what is most meaningful to me is when people say the music was beautiful.
mm,
Because then it doesn't have to do with the ukulele. It doesn't have to do with me as a player. It has to do with the music. To me, it's the music that does the work. So, young guys play fast, I play slow.
hey,
And
since you're
people started, I'm sorry, go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, since you're gonna reverse, that means you're gonna get faster in a couple of years, yeah.
Say again.
I said, since you're going in reverse, that means we're gonna get slower and you're gonna get faster then.
That's that's a good point. And basically I think the way to look at that is ukulele has so much potential that every so often, every single player should stop, take a time out, and go, okay, what is it that I can still learn from this instrument? I'll give you an example. It wasn't just slowing down or getting quieter that I became more conscious of. Um, what the young guys love to do is to improvise behind a progression. Yes.
Mm. Yes.
We get together and one guy's playing the progression and the other guy's going, "Ooh," and you know what? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But the kind of variety in approach I put to that is that to me, the opposite of improvisation is melody.
That's true.
And the reason why I don't write original songs other than I'm not interested in that. I love arranging, but I don't write songs. Is if I choose the right melodies based on the audience who's listening to me, as soon as I start playing, it takes much less time for the audience to connect with the music.
Yeah.
Because
That
if I
that
choose if I choose a right song, then the audience will, as soon as you start playing, there's something that goes on in their minds and their hearts about the song that they're listening. Generally, it's a memory.
yeah, I think that's really, really important that you brought up because it's like, especially us as performers, it's if they can relate, I think that's the number one thing for them to get connected within the music is they can relate to it, and that's something that I took a little more serious in my more recent years of playing ukulele. It's like, oh, choose songs that people. It's because it's really hard to even for me who because I write original music too, and it's hard because no one can connect to it like something that they have their memory into, like a certain, like, I know you have
Hmm,
a couple iconic like ballads that you do, and even when I heard you play, I was like, oh wow, I remember that, like as a kid.
exactly, exactly. And you know what? It doesn't mean that a person shouldn't write his own songs. It just means that if you do that, you got to take more time and practice that song in a way that'll help you make this emotional connection with the audience. And that can be done practically. Practically, the way to do that in your practice is to put variation in tempo and
Mm,
dynamics
yeah.
in your music. How difficult is it to put dynamics in your music? All you got to do is soften,
Yeah.
sometimes
It's funny,
get louder
dynamics,
sometimes.
right? And dynamics can be overlooked, like, and it's I think it's like, even I started doing a workshop on dynamics because I think it's it's something that people aren't really aware of sometimes, but it's very, very important for especially when you talk about emotion. And just to touch upon that real quick, that's true. Like, I mean, yeah, I do have some fast songs in my arsenal whenever I play, but it is the slow ones where I get comments on, like, oh wow, that was like, that was beautiful or something.
That's correct.
And I
That's
love
correct.
playing both, but I noticed, like, even for me as a writer and as a arranger, I feel more connected to the slower songs.
Yeah, I absolutely I agree. And one of the big decisions you got to make, um, and this is not an either or. You gotta decide how much of the music that you play is designed to attract attention to you as a player.
Yeah.
How much of what you play is designed to attract attention to the ukulele and its potential, and how much of what you play has to do with the people enjoying and appreciating the music.
Mm,
And and the situation there is not to choose one over the other. The situation is not about good, bad, right, or wrong. That situation to me is all about balance.
yeah, balance, and that all comes in the strategy of even coming up with a set list.
Absolutely.
Yeah, even like,
Absolutely.
yeah, sometimes it takes me a while. Sometimes I don't even write a set list because, like, I'm like, oh, I don't know if this fits here, but it's like I kind of go based on the energy that I see in the room. And so, like, because the one time I had a set list, I didn't go so well. So I was like, I'm just gonna go from what I feel like emotions. Like, is it time for a ballad? Is it time to bring the energy up? And and performing is its own art, you know.
That's right. And um, we learn we learn just as much from what we do wrong,
Yeah. Yeah.
as what we do right. I'm certainly not without those situations that that went horribly wrong. um, but you learn from those, and one of the things about ukulele, especially to especially to the common person, is, what, proficiency and how well you play, to me, isn't as important as participation in the
Mm,
process of making music.
yeah.
And so when when you do that, if you make a mistake, so what? I mean, you are familiar with Kanikapila, because we grew up with that stuff, and so that in Kanikapila there isn't a person in that room who plays all the right chords.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
and a lot,
they,
like, a
they
lot of,
don't know words, sing the wrong words, play wrong chords, but you know what? So what? They all enjoy the process anyway. And that's important.
yeah, and then that's the difference between Kane Kapila and then, I guess, like, if you were to perform, it's just that Kane Kapila is pretty much all about just having fun and jamming.
Absolutely.
And that's why, like,
Absolutely.
and that's why I wish people around the world could experience Kane Kapila, because
Yeah.
it's very enlightening. It's just, I don't know, everybody gathering out of Ohana, everyone, they cook barbecue,
Yeah.
and it's such a great environment, and
People
then the
around the
music
world
on
do
top of it.
appreciate that. Yeah. People around the world appreciate that. They just don't call it Kanikapila. Some call it freaking hootenanny, they call it jam session.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think the key is participation.
Yeah.
Because in Kanikapila, there are people there who don't even play, who enjoy the process.
Yeah.
The process of being in the music rather than outside looking at it.
That that's a great point. I never really thought of it, but then just people do like
That's
to
an old
be
fart
included.
reflection, buddy.
No, I mean no, that's good. That's gold. It's just when you think of it, everyone you go to these ukulele festivals, and what does everybody have? They all have an ukulele, and they want to play. Like they're taking a break from workshops or performances. They're playing. So you have a really good point when it comes to participation, especially with the ukulele.
Absolutely.
Plus, it's so accessible. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna carry it on my back, and stuff
Right.
like that. And yeah. So I'm just curious. You must have a lot, but what are some of your main and favorite ukuleles?
In terms of brand names, you mean?
I guess, yeah, I guess brand, or if you have yeah, just the types
Got
of
it.
wood. I'm just curious, like what do you like?
Got it. Um, First of all, my choice in ukuleles that I play is always quality.
Yeah.
Quality is not limited to a brand name. And so years ago, I decided that I was not ever going to look to be sponsored
Mm.
in ukulele. That what I would do is get to know quality builders, figure out what it is about their instruments that made them quality instruments, and share that with ukulele people. The way I chose to afford that is I'd go to a builder, get to know him very well, ask him to make me an ukulele. When I got that ukulele, I either played it in concert or did a workshop or did something to show off that ukulele
Mm.
to the public in order to help the builder, get some recognition and acknowledgement. Then after that, I sell the ukulele, do it again, sell the ukulele, do it again. Um, and because of that, I have received a wonderful education on what quality ukuleles are.
Yeah.
Now, to answer your question about what I prefer the most, it's more a type of ukulele. For example, I love baritones.
Ah,
And one
baritone.
of one of my favorite baritones is a six-string baritone, in which the two lower courses are doubled.
Okay.
Yeah, so just the two lower strings and a six-string baritone are doubled. Why? In my technique, my forefinger is given to the melody,
Mm.
and my thumb is given to the harmony. And the way I get harmony to go with the melody is just to brush down with my thumb. So long time ago, it was around 19, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Long time ago, I was talking to a friend of mine and I said, hey, um, why don't you make a uke and double the two lower courses in octaves? Because as I brush down, it would provide more sonority,
Mm.
for background, combined with my forefinger playing the melody.
Oh, that's
So it's the
interesting.
reason why a six-string baritone is one of my favorite instruments. The other favorite instrument, I would say, right now, of choice for me, is a hybrid tenor. It's an extended tenor. The scale on most tenors is 17 inches, and I've come to really prefer a 19-inch tenor
Oh,
with tenor strings that are tuned down to B flat six rather than C6.
oh yeah. Oh, I do like B flat six tuning.
Oh, I love it.
It's like I started experimenting it. I think I did a Christmas song. I did White Christmas in that tuning. I was like, wow, like I don't know, it just sounds super different, and I felt more creative getting away because we played GCA for like so long, so it was so refreshing to feel this like B
Correct.
flat six open tuning.
Yeah, and one of the things I've been exposed to. I was talking to Jay Lichty once, and I don't know how we got around to tunings,
Mm.
but his question was, "Hey, um, do you think do you think an instrument has a sweet spot for tuning? And at least my answer is I've never been able to find out. But um, this B flat six tuning is just wonderful. And the other thing about an extended scale on the tenor is that it provides more horizontal space
Mm,
for fingering, especially if you're playing chords up around the eighth, 10th, even the 12th fret. So you get more sonority there as well because it's easier to negotiate the chords.
yeah. And how's the clarity must be pretty good then in the higher register.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh
Is,
yeah.
is what considered a super tenor with that long? Because I hear the term super tenor. Is that what that is? 19 inches?
I have no idea because luthiers come up with their own names. Eric Devine, for example, calls this extended model a tenatone
Oh,
because
tenor.
yeah the in the B flat six tuning, that tuning and that sound, and on the instrument, the dimensions of the instrument are between a baritone and a tenor.
Yeah.
Throughout my ukulele career, I've always preferred a low and mellow sound as opposed to high and bright. It's not a matter of good or bad. It's a matter of preference.
Preference. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I've always tried to figure out how to get a tenor ukulele to sound low and mellow. On the other hand, one of the things I think about baritones is some baritones are so low and mellow that chords especially sound muddy
Yeah.
in the first, second, and third fret. This hybrid ukulele between the baritone and the tenor, I'm telling you, it's a godsend.
Oh wow. That's I don't. Yeah. I don't think I've ever played one.
Oh, we got to get together sometime.
It sounds cool.
Plus, you know what? You live on Maui.
Yeah.
I just got a Grimes tenor where he extended the scale, and Eric Devine has been doing this for a while. In fact, he has my tenatone. So go visit Eric and say, "Hey, Kimo said I can play his tenatone. He'll do it."
Wait, he's in Lahaina, right?
He is in Kula now,
Oh, okay.
getting ready probably to move to Molokai.
Oh, when is he moving?
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I have to reach out. Yeah. I've never. I think I've seen some of his stuff, but I've never actually really played it. So, but I know him and
Ooh,
Steve Grimes are probably the main luthiers here on Maui.
yeah. You know what? I'd highly recommend that you go visit them because these two guys are acknowledged to be among the best in the world.
Oh yes, I remember. Yeah, I actually we went by Steve Grimes' place not too long ago, and he was telling me he got like all these nice shades of wood that he's working on, and
Yeah.
a good family friend of ours, he just recently bought a guitar. Like it was like pretty decked out, and I was like, wow, that's awesome, you know, like and that's just awesome. You get to hang with all these luthiers and try the best of the best ukuleles. And I'm just curious, do you have like when it comes to wood, is there a preference there? Because you're talking about a bright and warm. Like, is there woods that pop out to you?
um, my First of all, with regard to tops, the tops that I have enjoyed the most are spruce and redwood.
Ah, redwood.
Yeah, especially Sinker redwood.
Mm,
And I've played ukes with other woods, but if I had to narrow down my two favorites, it would be spruce and redwoods. Other than that, I've played like tops wise. I've played uh, walnut tops, mahogany, koa naturally,
yeah.
uh, and all koa ukes sound beautiful. But I've also played a koa back and sides with a spruce top. Oh my Oh my God, that made me very happy.
Oh
In
yeah,
fact,
sometimes you love that those combinations are nice, when you mix the woods together. And I'm just curious, when with the redwood, I hear I hear it's very popular. Grimes actually told me that he was making a redwood, and so I was like, oh well, that's interesting.
yeah, I
But
think,
is it similar to like a cedar sound or?
wow. You know what? I don't know how to answer that because I have this specific sound in my mind with regard to redwood, and the way I would describe it is low and mellow.
And then do you combine that with what? What are the back and sides?
With redwood, you mean?
Your favorite combination, yeah.
Oh, back end sides, I prefer the darker woods like cocobolo,
Ah,
Brazilian walnut, koa. Um, and the reason why uh, I kind of shy away, and I have shied away from lighter woods like maple, is I used to associate maple with being high and bright, producing a high and bright sound
right.
until I played this maple uke that San Diego. John, what's his name? The San Diego Biller. Come on, help me out, buddy. Kevin Better. And anyway, played this maple uke that did not sound like maple
So I had a
because
different
it
tone
was low
quality.
and mellow. But generally, I prefer for back and sides the darker woods.
It's like a rosewood, like you say.
Yeah, yeah, and the best combination I think I've ever heard, combinations wise, is Brazilian back and sides with a redwood top,
Ooh, that's
or Brazilian back and sides with a spruce top.
oh yeah, yeah. The rose, I have a nice Joji made me a rosewood spruce combination, and
Uh,
it just sounds like it's in its own tier quality
I know,
wise. I'm just
I
like
know that Joji, he's going off. There's
such
got
a
to be something wrong with that guy.
such a master of what he does. So like yeah.
Yeah, I think he makes instruments that got to be like illegal.
Yeah, so that's what, like after I played his at the ukulele guild, I emailed him. I was like, oh, I'm just curious, like I'm interested in getting a ukulele. Like I know he uses Swiss moon spruce and he uses rosewood. So
Yeah,
he got back to me and he goes, oh yeah, he goes, I would love to work on it. And then a
yeah,
couple months later, I had the ukulele and I was just like, just the first
yeah,
chord I played, I was just like, wow, the quality in this instrument is just insane.
yeah. Before we get away from luthiers and perhaps talk about something else, one of the things I would like to say to you and your audience is find out find out about very good luthiers wherever you live because they're all over the world. Get to know them, and exchange information with them. And the thing that you have that all luthiers love is the ability to play and show off their instruments. One of the weird things about luthiers is most of them don't play very well. Some of them don't play at all.
They're just, I think they're more the builders and the craft of that process more.
Yeah,
Definitely. No, yeah, there are a lot of luthiers out there. I mean, even just going to the guild, it's like, wow, I didn't even know that there was this much. But it
absolutely.
and everyone
They're
has.
actually all over the world. You know, we know good luthiers in Europe, Asia. Asia is loaded.
Oh,
Canada, South America, all over the world.
yeah, South America. Yeah, just it's and there's gonna be more.
Absolutely.
And yeah, just interesting. It's just cool to see everyone like the different luthiers. It's kind of like I thought that the event was really it really stood out to me, the luthiers for a cause event at the ukulele guild. It kind of reminded me of like, like five chefs using the same ingredients to make a dish, but yet
Yeah,
everyone's was very just, they had their own spice to it. And I thought that was such a,
yeah,
being part of that event was just, I don't know, it was once in a lifetime. I think it was just, I had a
cool.
blast.
Good for you. It was a wonderful, wonderful event.
Yeah, and then you get to you get to meet everybody and just be part of the community. I thought that was pretty awesome.
You know,
Ah,
one thing added, I might tell you about luthiers and getting to know luthiers. Is I have never ever asked a luthier to make me an ukulele. I have never ever asked an ukulele. I'm asked a luthier to give me a discount on an ukulele. Um, and yet, and yet, one of the reasons why I love what I do is I can make a little bit of money doing it.
and you get, you make these great friendships, and you get to
Absolutely,
just play all these ukuleles where, I mean, a lot of the, I mean, I see a lot of the luthiers you talk to, it's like, they're not really part of the mainstream ukulele community. It's like they're independent builders, but they're some of the best in the world, and you
yeah,
get to play them all.
absolutely. And if you do nothing more than play a luthier's ukulele, I'm telling you that they love it.
I bet, yeah, I'm looking forward to just connecting with more luthiers and just seeing their
Well, you got some,
process.
you, you got some good ones on Maui.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have to give them a call and like, hey, what's going on? I'd love to check it out. There's nothing really much we can do now. Cannot really travel, so yeah, check out some ukuleles.
Call Eric Devine and tell him, hey, Kimo said to let you play his tenor.
Okay,
That's a
will
hy-
do.
that's a hybrid tenor. You'll love it. I promise you.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to just, yeah, checking it out for sure. Sorry, I don't want to keep you for too long. I think the time just kind of flew by. How are you doing on time?
I'm doing okay.
Okay, cool. I mean, is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, I'm leaving this up to you. All I do is open my mouth and make sound come out, just like the ukulele, brother.
Okay, okay, right on. I
and,
guess
and you're the quarterback.
I know we covered pretty much everything. Just last thing, just how has like the traveling experience been with being able to become like a traveling touring ukulele performer?
It's um, it's been very, very positive uh, for me. One of the wonderful things about ukulele has been the growth of ukulele around the world.
Mm,
Um, and everybody who has embraced ukulele around the world always feels like Hawaii is ukulele's nucleus.
yeah,
That we have everything here that a person needs to do or be exposed to in terms of ukulele. Well, that provides us a wonderful opportunity to go out and share what we know with ukulele. One of the weird things about Hawaii is, and I'll just put it this way, I always have friends who come to visit Hawaii as tourists, and they always ask me, Kimo, where can I go to listen to Hawaiian, or not Hawaiian, but ukulele music? And I tell them, my house, because nobody has a normal gig playing ukulele and just ukulele, and the kind of music that exists in Hawaii generally with ukulele makes the instrument a secondary instrument, and that's okay. But when people come to visit Hawaii, they're looking to take back with them knowledge that will help them understand how to have fun. So it's a lot easier, I think, to make ourselves available, to people around the world, and it's incredible. The first year I went to the ukulele in the Czech Republic, right outside
Hmm.
of right outside of Prague. Have you been to that festival, by the way, buddy?
I was supposed to go last year, but I think because of the
Oh,
whole
he
Corona
canceled.
thing, we had to, yeah, cancel.
Yeah, you know, the first year I went to that festival. I counted 16 people that I got to meet, and each of those came from a different country. And it was so wonderful to have all these people come from different countries. And when I was there, I got to stay at the mayor's house
Wow.
because the mayor loves ukulele, loves to jam.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and ukulele is I mean it's just such an international instrument. You know, it all what Hawaii did was to help make it well known.
Yeah.
It came to us from Portugal, as you well know. So travel fits into my scheme of things quite well because I love to travel.
Me too. Oh, that's well, I'm glad I know you travel quite often too. I know you go to Asia quite a bit, as well as these ukulele festivals.
Yeah, one of the things I really enjoy about the about travel, and I will say I really enjoy this about ukulele groups and ukulele players, especially outside of Hawaii, is they work hard, you know, and they practice.
Yeah, no, they do.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that we ukulele players in Hawaii are, you know, don't do it well. It's just it's a different thing for us. You
Yeah.
know, it's always been there, except for people like you who choose to make it your profession or your near profession, whatever. But I find that the people in Asia, especially, they work hard at learning to play. So I really enjoy that, and I've had some very special um, things and events and experiences through travel.
Yeah, no, it's very eye-opening, and it's crazy that I know like some people who hasn't even left Maui, and
Yeah,
after like leaving Hawaii, and then seeing, like parts like Prague, China, I mean, obviously the US, but like when you see like what else is out there, it's just crazy. It's like, why haven't I seen this
absolutely.
before? And that's one of my favorite things. I like being able to travel. It's like my two passions, right? Traveling and then also sharing music. And I think it's just we're very fortunate to be able to do that, in our life.
We should, Andrew, we should talk sometime about some travel opportunities that are available to you. One that comes to mind
Okay.
that I am looking for a replacement for is in the last, well, I don't know, 7 or 8 years. It was canceled last year because of the pandemic, but
Hmm.
I've been going to British Columbia on a small isolated island every year to do a workshop just in ukulele that goes for 5 nights and 6 days. Totally ukulele.
Dang, 5-day workshop.
Yeah, and I really love that, and the big reason why I continue to do that is that it keeps me sharp. It has to, because when you look at sequestering people for that long in a beautiful location, by the way, but only having to do with ukulele, it's it's challenging, and that's what I like about it.
Ooh, I bet. Yeah, just having the 5 night, that's a long time. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I've done. In fact, I started doing that first at a venue on Molokai called Hui Ho'olana. So sometime let's talk about that because one of the ways to engineer travel for you is first to have people come to Hawaii and then go back home and tell other people about what you do and what you can do if you went there.
Yeah, definitely. Well, look, I'm looking forward to talking more. And I just like to thank you for donating your time today and sharing your knowledge.
Oh,
It's really just cool to see
anytime.
that. Yeah, just awesome to see your insights. But yeah, hopefully I can make it to Oahu, or we'll see you here on Maui.
Anytime. I'm always here, brother.